What up? It's Shut Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Monday night or Tuesday morning. Tuesday morningers, you made it through Monday. Monday nighters, yo, you almost made it through Monday, and you start Tuesday tomorrow, all right? All right, y'all, I'm in a good mood today. I got a great show lined up for you. I got two breaking stories. Team Diddy allegedly is in heavy talks with Team Trump, and possibly what I'm hearing is Diddy might be let out of jail this Thursday, September the 25th, with Donald Trump and his administration's help. I will be going live on YouTube Wednesday during the day to give you guys more on this, and also be in court on Thursday in New York City. So make sure you stay tuned, keep it locked all week for that, okay? But I will start off the show with giving you guys some up-to-date information on that. The second breaking story is Jimmy Kimmel Live is returning to ABC Tuesday night. In lead stories, I'm going to give you guys a quick Charlie Kirk memorial recap. Yesterday, as I was recording, the memorial service was going on. I gave you guys as much information. I just want to give you guys my 2 cents on watching it after I recorded. Also, we are going to fill you in on Candance Owens getting major support online after her claims and the feds allegedly going after her. She got a lot of support from a particular person in question, and I will let you guys know who that is. And also, the rapper or artist, R&B singer David has the biggest streaming day of his entire career yesterday with 12 million. And as you guys know, he is part of an investigation, what's going on with his Tesla and somebody being found in the trunk. All right. In quick news, we're going to talk Lil Meech, Celina Powell, Lori Harvey Damson Idris, Cardi B, Tyler Perry, Malik Yoba, The View, Jimmy Kimmel, and Kanye West. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Phew! Told y'all I'm in a good mood today. Let's go. All right, our first breaking story. All right, there is a lot going on in the headlines today, but as you know, and the reason why you tune into the Trend Out Loud podcast, the Trend Out Loud show, is because I give you guys the stuff before it even gets to mainstream media and before it goes viral, all right? There's, yes, Jimmy, Trump, David, etc. Get prepared for a wave of Diddy starting from Wednesday and potentially Thursday and maybe Friday if, according to my sources, he does get out. Just get prepared for it. Now, I told you guys, I think around 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I got the email letting everybody know that the judge has ordered everybody back to court this Thursday. He is going to give his ruling on Motion 29. Do not worry. I know I told you already, but today, again, I'm going to break down what Motion 29 is. And I'll also let you know what I'm hearing. And word on the street is that Diddy is going to get out this Thursday. His sentencing is set for October the 3rd. His sentencing. That he can also get out, maybe on time served. Maybe the judge gives him a year to serve. And I think by that time, that year will be served. So, sorry, that would be time served. Maybe it'd be a couple of months. He gets out in November, December. But why is the judge bringing everybody to reconvene to hear his Motion 29? Normally, he would just send a letter and say, Motion 29 denied. We'll see you at sentencing. He has brought in everybody back to give his ruling. Second of all, this judge has already acquitted a case before using Motion 29. He has been known to use this at least one time in his career. It could happen again. Now, let me explain to you guys what Rule 29 is in case you guys don't remember, and then I'll let you know the Trump aspect of it and why I've been hearing, and the word on the street is that Diddy is going to get out. Because just think about it. Why bring everybody back to court if the sentencing is next week, if you're not going to let him out? Just that alone should make you believe the story. But let's take it one step at a time. Motion 29 in U.S. federal court. The U.S. federal court Rule 29 motion refers to a motion for judgment of acquittal under federal rule of criminal procedure 29. What does that mean? After the prosecution presents his case, or after all evidence is presented, the defense can file a Rule 29 motion. The defense is basically saying, Even if the jury believes everything the government just said, no reasonable jury could legally convict my client because the evidence is insufficient. If the judge agrees, the case can be thrown out before it even goes to the jury, or after a guilty verdict, the judge can set it aside. In short, Rule 29 is a way for the defense to argue that the government failed to prove its case, and the judge should acquit, no matter what the jury thinks. Now, I know that sounds a little bit confusing because the whole point of a jury case is let's present it to the jury and let's see what they say. But the most important thing here is, I'll just read it again. After the prosecution, the defense is basically saying, even if the jury believes everything the government just said, no reasonable jury could legally convict my client because the evidence is insufficient. So I was there in court when Diddy's legal team presented this. And I remember coming outside and doing a live and saying, why would they go so hard? It was like almost half the day or maybe 3/4 of the day, telling the prosecution or telling the jury all the wrong things that the prosecution did and all of the missteps and all of their mistakes and everything. And I thought it was way too much information to give the prosecution because the prosecution still had their closing arguments to do. And in my head, I was like, man, you're giving them the cheat code because you should be keeping this for your closing arguments and say, hey, jury, the prosecution, failed at this level, that level, blah, 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 etc. But that's why Diddy has one of the best defense teams. And I'm just here telling you the news because they know that giving all of this information could get him out this Thursday. Now that you have that information, and I won't go into detail with all of the missteps they have. You could go back and check one of those lives. I will take too long. But here is really the reason why you tuned in and what I'm hearing. Now, you guys know a week or maybe it's like last month. We do know that it was official that people on Diddy's team admitted that they were speaking to people on the Trump team. It was Nicole Westmoreland, who's one of my favorite people on Diddy's defense team. Super nice, said hi to me every day, walking by, like very nice, very respectable, and just a brilliant, brilliant lawyer, okay? So Nicole, I think she was on ABC, and she said, yes, we're actively talking. And they asked her, like, well, what are you trying to get? They're like, we're trying to get a pardon, or we're trying to get him to, see what he could do. Now, we haven't heard anything from that. But from what I'm hearing is that those talks led to somebody on Donald Trump's team. It could be Donald Trump. We don't know. We shall see. But it led it on somebody on his team to look at the transcripts and look at some things and perhaps nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and was like, they don't even want Diddy convicted. This is what I'm hearing. Diddy doesn't want to get the sentencing. Obviously, he wants to get out of jail. Everybody just wants to get out of jail. But if Diddy gets out with, let's say, for example, time served, he still will have the criminal record. He still will have the SEX trafficking, even though it's the Mann Act. It's not force, fraud, and coercion, but it's not something that he wants on his file, because even if he gets out, he now is a convicted criminal. Don't forget, Diddy never had a record before. So, reason why they're trying so hard for this, and this is an out that the judge can use, favor, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, it's, if you're gonna give him time served and he's gonna get out next week, we would prefer, judge, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, just rule on your motion 29. You didn't rule on it. Oh, and that's another thing. The judge can rule on it at any time. I remember asking that of some the officers and the clerks. They're like, he can rule on it any time. He can rule on it the next day, or he can rule on it any time before the conviction. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he can rule up to like a couple of days after the conviction. So he has left this kind of like window crack kind of open, saying, I'll do it. I'll answer it when I feel like it. And now, a week before the sentencing, he's deciding to rule on it. And like I said, he could just rule on it from a letter. Diddy has been asking for bail 2, 3, 4 times. They tell him no by a letter. Remember I told you guys once we're here, like, could we look at the definition of prostitution? Because the definition of prostitution in 1910 was your wife stepping out the marriage. And that was in the Mann Act. That was a violation. Now, today in 2025, prostitution means something else. So there's all of these arguments, and he's always answered by letter. Why is he bringing the world all back together? CNN, ABC, NBC, new media, legacy media? Why? So again, from my sources, and this is just all alleged, is that Diddy, happy if he gets out, of course, but what he would really like to do after going through all of this, beating the RICO, beating the forced fraud and coercion, the SEX trafficking, forced fraud and coercion, all the major things, he's like, I went through all of this, and you're still going to have me as a convicted felon, and I'm going to still have this on my record. I would like if you could help me out and just get this completely off, have the judge throw it out. They didn't bring sufficient evidence. I told you that's the rule. You can Google it, ask ChatGPT. Hey, wasn't a sufficient evidence for the SEX trafficking. Please throw it out and let me out just 1 week before you're going to let me out anyway. So that is what I'm hearing. I will be there Wednesday. I have a couple of people that I'm going to see and speak to. So I'm going to be going live Wednesday, probably lunchtime, maybe again at maybe 5, 6 o'clock. Then, of course, Thursday morning before court, and then, of course, directly right after. So expect around 4 to 5 lives between Wednesday and Thursday. Keep it locked. Keep your notifications on. Y'all know that I am directly in the courtroom, sitting right behind his lawyer, sitting right beside his mom, the kids. I'm sure everyone's going to be there. Everyone's going to be packed that was there from the summertime. So anxious to see everybody again, even like all the content creators. I'm sure everyone's going to show up, but more anxious to bring you guys what is going to happen with Diddy. Sound off below. I know a lot of you are still super unhappy with the Cassie thing, the video. You think that he should be staying in jail for the rest of his life. That's not going to happen. And that's really not what this conversation is about. He was found not guilty on RICO, not guilty on SEX trafficking, forced fraud and coercion. It's simply the Mann Act. If you feel like Diddy should stay in jail for the next 8 years or 7 years because he hired a prostitute from Atlanta and flew them to New York, that is what he's in jail for. If you feel like you should be in jail for 5 or 6 years for that, I totally respect your opinion. I disagree. I don't think somebody should stay in jail because you don't like them or because of something they did beyond a statute of limitation. I believe in the law, and the government tried to find him guilty on these other things, and he was unanimous by a jury of his peers. He's only in jail for transportation. And I think a year is time served for me, my opinion. And, you know, most of the other people who have been found guilty for this don't even go to jail. So there's that. But more importantly, you think that he's getting out on Thursday. What do you think about Rule 29? What do you think about the Trump administration, the little nudge, wink, wink? What is going on? How did they get to the judge? Is this the judge's rule? Like, who knows, man? Sound off below and let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, our second breaking story. Jimmy Kimmel returns after ABC's censorship pause. Did Disney cave? All right, Jimmy Kimmel's back, yo. Jimmy Kimmel, no B, Trent. Jimmy Kimmel is back. He officially makes his return this Tuesday after a short pause in production, the Walt Disney Company has announced. The pause has social media split. Some say it was necessary. Others are calling it straight censorship. Was Disney protecting the culture or going after free speech? The late night talk show was temporarily suspended last Wednesday following backlash over comments made on the program that the network deemed ill-timed and insensitive. In a statement released by ABC, the company explained that the decision to halt production was made to avoid escalating a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. Give me a break. It was because the FCC, but we'll get into that. Hold on. We made the decision to suspend production on a show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation, the statement read. In a decision, it's a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached a decision to return the show on Tuesday. The brief suspension sparked widespread controversy amongst fans and critics alike, with many debating the balance between comedy and sensitiveness in the current culture climate. Disney has not specified which comments triggered the decision. Okay. let's break this down and just call a spade a spade. For my daily listeners, you know that we've spoke about it. I mean, we kind of broke this story. I think I was recording while it happened. I told you guys like literally a half an hour after it happened. I've heard a lot of your comments. But the day after or the next day, I told you guys about the FCC chairman who was on a podcast before this decision was made saying that he does not like Jimmy's comments and that if the network doesn't do something, the FCC will, and they could do this the easy way or the hard way. So it was the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, who works for Donald Trump, i.e. Donald Trump saying, I don't like what he said, get his show off the air. And he has been blatant in saying that. I came out and said it. A couple of y'all dragged me, but I do have some inside information on why Jimmy is coming back. And basically, just in a nutshell, I was right. So before I tell you about what I have heard and the potential lawsuit that Jimmy was going to blow the entire industry apart with, I just want to remind you guys that I think it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I told you that Disney, Hulu, and Disney Plus collectively lost close to $4 billion with a B, $billion in market share. From what I heard, there was, I think, 400 celebrities that signed a letter, boycott, people literally not even tuning into ABC. I heard there were a couple of celebs that were actually boycotting their own premieres. Like, we're not going to our premiere. We're not going to this movie. We're not showing up. We're not doing anything. There was a major fallout from ABC. Now, you're a billion-dollar company. You got to look and say, okay, we had pressure from Donald Trump, Brendan Carr, FCC. Then you also had pressure from Nexstar and Nexstar and Sinclair. They had pressure from FCC and they have a deal that's going on because they wanted to buy, I think it's Topanga for $6 billion. So all of these companies are stuck in the middle and they're like, oh my gosh, we don't know what to do. Donald Trump is putting the pressure on them and most people lately have been caving, bending the knee. Well, to me, it looks like the people won because Donald Trump put pressure, they suspended, the people have spoken, and now Jimmy is coming back. And if you guys remember, I read you guys a statement, if I'm not mistaken, from Sinclair or maybe Nexstar, but Sinclair said, if Jimmy Kimmel comes back, the only way that we will air his show is that if he makes a public apology to the Kirk family and makes a donation to Turning Point, which is Jimmy's foundation. In this letter from ABC, it doesn't sound like he did that. Maybe he did, but it's not. Jimmy is going to apologize. Jimmy's going to do this and Jimmy's going to do that. And that's why he's coming back. So anyways, just want to read you something quick. After the boycott with high numbers of subscription, a sharp drop in stock prices, an open letter signed by celebrities calling for reinstatement, Disney has announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live will be returning on Tuesday. Okay, so pretty much everything I just told you. Now, from what I have heard, the streets are saying that Jimmy was lawyering up and they were getting ready to prove that the FCC caused ABC to suspend his show, which is a violation of the First Amendment. As the FCC and the government, you cannot put pressure on a network to do something that they don't want to do and think that you can get away with it because that is a violation of their rights. And it was simple to prove it. You could have just listened to my show and I proved it. I showed you guys facts. I showed you guys something that Donald Trump said. I showed you something that Brendan Carr said. Those two pieces of evidence came before the suspension. So when Donald Trump was trying to clean his stuff up after being like, oh, Jimmy Kimmel was suspended for bad ratings. You don't get suspended for bad ratings. You get fired. And he was just suspended. So that was going to be an easy case. I could have proven that to a jury of Jimmy's peers or to Donald Trump's peers. That would have been a huge lawsuit. Jimmy would have won an a crazy amount of money. ABC would have been just decimated. They did not want those kind of problems. Now, having said all that, I've also heard, and as for those who don't know Jimmy Kimmel that well, Jimmy is a nice guy. He's not a very confrontational guy. And I even told you guys last week that I heard in his first couple of meetings with ABC, he said that he wanted to come out and say, listen, that was not my intention to say that Tyler, what's his name again? Tyler Robinson was MAGA, and he kind of wanted to take that back. That was his own words that he wanted to take back. So he's already like wanting to take a little bit of the fault. But where the conversations fell flat was when he said that he also wanted to drag Fox News while he was making this correction. And I even thought, like, why do you do that? You're making a correction of something you felt you did wrong on your own. That's not time for you to go after Fox News. So we don't know the details of what is going to happen on Tuesday night, but I can promise you this. That Jimmy Kimmel live monologue Tuesday night is probably going to be the most watched late night show episode like of all times. Like the world will be tuning in to hear what Jimmy has to say. Now, I think what comes on around 11:30. From what I heard, they tape it. Or do we get a live feed? Because it's done in LA. I think somebody told me they did around 5 or 6. There might be a little bit of a delay, but as soon as I have any more information, I'm talking with people in LA now about it. As soon as I have more information, I will let you know. Hopefully try to get what he's going to say or what he's going to do. As soon as I know, I will let you guys know. Until then, let me know what y'all think about all of this hoopla. Just a loss for Donald Trump. That's a big loss. He's coming back. Jimmy is coming back. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, our first lead story. Okay, I want to give y'all a quick recap. Like I said at the top, as I was recording yesterday, the Charlie Kirk's memorial was happening. So in between segments, I would go check, I would post something or whatever. But I just want to give you guys just a recap of what I thought, just my opinion. I know most of you have seen everything right now. I just want to give you my thoughts on it, okay? I thought Erika Kirk did amazing. I thought she did a great job. I thought her, I don't know if you call it a speech or her eulogy, whatever it is. What she said was, I think, very well done. Whoever wrote that for her was well done. I think it came across how it should come across. It was heartfelt. You didn't feel anybody that was really being attacked. You didn't feel it was very political. It was a wife letting her, letting her family, loved ones, and us know how she feels and just, give us some insight. I thought it was very, very well done. She also said that she forgave forgave Tyler. I don't think I played this yesterday, so I'll just play a little clip now. Take a listen.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Yeah, so really good. The one thing I'll say, and you know me, I just got to keep it real. Same thing with her first address when she recorded it from Charlie's studio. I don't know if this is just how she is, but it feels like she's trying to cry. Feels like she's trying to be extra. I don't know if you guys see that. I do know, just from our Instagram page, the Trend Out Loud show, people are like, this is why her acting career didn't work out. And you see it, right? But I mean, as it goes on, you did see some tears, but in the beginning, you'd see her her eyes like this, but then there would be no tears. Look, sometimes, people feel like they need to be emotional so people see that they're hurting, and maybe they just don't have that kind of emotion, but they're being judged. It could be nerves. I don't know. I mean, listen, clearly the woman is in pain. She lost her husband, right? That's just not even a question. That's just my take from it. I just feel like I would have loved her to just more lean into just who she is. I feel like I don't know. I feel like she's putting on a little bit of a show, but regardless, really well done. Now, Donald Trump. All right. First things first, I don't know why he went last. I personally found that very disrespectful. Now, I know that this was quote unquote put on by the feds and Turning Point or whatever. I feel like Erika Kirk should have gone last. I understand he's the president of the United States. I understand how huge that is to have the president at your memorial. I get it. But let's not forget the fact that, Trump has said numerous amount of times that it was because of Charlie Kirk why he won the presidency. So it makes sense why him and his whole cabinet and stuff are there. But your wife should have the last word. It shouldn't be Trump that has the last word. He brought her out on stage at the end, which is something I'm going to talk about too. But I thought that was a little bit rude. first of all. Second of all, do you know if you time his whole speech or eulogy, whatever you want to call it, let's say, for example, it was 45 minutes, the exact half amount of time, he spent half of the amount of his time talking on political issues than he did about Charlie. So if he spoke for an hour, 30 minutes were on Charlie, 30 minutes was on his political agenda, which I thought was distasteful. Most of everybody that got up there didn't say anything about the left, Democrats. I don't think I heard the word Democrats. I heard radical left. But look, I have a split feeling about that, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But, and especially you're going last, that's not what I want to hear at the end of a memorial service is your political agenda. And for those who missed it, he spoke about terrorists. How do you bring up terrorists when you're at someone's memorial service, bro? Terrorists. He talked about Washington being so much safer now because of him. He spoke about autism, which is something that him and JFK Jr. is going to, RFK Jr. is supposed to be unveiling. Well, they unveiled it today, and like Tylenol has something to do like with women when they're pregnant, whatever. He talked about Memphis and Chicago being horrible, and he needs to go and save them. He talked about governors on crime, and he even slid in Jimmy Kimmel. Like, just distasteful. Now, he also mentioned something about his opponents. He said that Charlie never hated his opponents and he always wanted to sit down and speak to them. But he said that's where him and I disagree because he hates his opponents and doesn't want to see them do well. Here is a quick clip.
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
So I'll give you my take on that and even the political thing. Part of me thinks that it's horrible, and if I was Charlie's family, I would think it was distasteful. The other part of me says, I like that Trump is always Trump no matter what room he's in. Like, I don't even say the silver lining, but like, that's the one thing you could say about him. I don't care if you don't like him. I don't care if you like him or whatever. No matter what room he is in, no matter what situation he is under, somebody that was instrumental in getting him elected, he is going to be him. And that's it. And maybe even in his head, he maybe kind of toned it down a little. Maybe that's his version of being toned down. So in that sense, I understand, and I will give him a little bit of credit for that. But at the end of the day, that's not what I want to see. Now, the last thing I would like to talk about is, I kind of touched on it already, the fact that he brought Erika back out at least to end it off with her. I thought it was good, but we posted this up on the Trend Out Loud show, and there's already people that agree with me. The hugging and the embracing, I'm not going to start any say anything that things are going on or whatever, but I just felt a little uncomfortable. I felt like it was a lot. Now, I don't know if it's because we're just not used to seeing Trump be touchy-feely like that. He hugged her, he kissed her, you've never seen him with Melania like that. I've never seen that much PDA in the 20 years I've been watching Donald Trump, from Apprentice to whatever, the presidency in the past 10 years. You've never seen him like that. I'm going to play a clip quickly here. You can check out the full thing on the Trend Out Loud show on Instagram, but let me know below, it's a little bit weird, no? Just a little bit. Take a look. And lastly, to close out, I still need this for something. Lastly, to close out, I do have a question. Maybe some of you can answer me. How come we don't see Charlie Kirk's parents? Because I know they are alive, because Trump said in his speech, he said to his parents, blah, 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 blah. So I guess his parents must be there, but I've never seen them on camera. I never heard from them. Why didn't they speak yesterday? If somebody knows, please comment below and let me know. All right. So that is it I really, I don't think that we've heard the end of Charlie, like we said repeatedly on this show. This has just made his voice even stronger, his movement even stronger. Erika's now will be the CEO of Turning Point. I think Trump said they're still going to do the Medal of Freedom, and it's going to be at the White House. So, yeah, I'm sure we're going to keep on hearing. And just in closing, just for somebody who might be watching this show for the first time, I do not agree with most of Charlie's views. However, I don't agree with most of Charlie's views, especially the fact of his views on Black women, because I have a mom, a sister, a niece, aunts, those, especially those, hit home for me. And of course, the things that he said about DEI, etc. However, always respected that he was never violent or never overt. He always wanted to sit down and talk and willing to discuss, which is something I could very much respect. I thought it was wrong. Of course, what happened to him, never cheered on and never celebrated. I don't think there's ever a need or, there's no sort of benefit for political violence at all. And I condemned anybody who was ever cheering it on or celebrating it or whatever. I think that is the beauty of America, where you could disagree and sit down and have a disagreement with somebody. I like to think that that is how we run our show. I tell you guys all the time that I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. I sit in the middle. People don't like that I sit in the middle. I always ask you guys what you think about this, what you think about that. And I love that conversation. I love that back and forth. I would have loved to have a debate with Charlie. I would have loved to have a discussion with him. And knowing more about him now, especially over this past week or so, it doesn't change any of the things that he has said, but it does, all the things I've watched and all the things I've even played on the show, it does just remind us that regardless of whatever somebody says, if you're willing to talk and willing to discuss, that is America and that is democracy. So one last time, Charlie, may you rest in peace. And of course, condolences out to his family. Let me know what you guys think about the memorial and everything in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. Candance Owens demands back camera footage for Superman, the thing that went into Charlie's neck. Can you say that? Bullet? I don't know. I had two videos get stricken this week, so I got to be careful with the words I use on YouTube. Explanation smells like a cover-up. All right. So we've been talking a lot about Candance this week. There's somebody that made this video. I wanted to play it for you guys that gives credence to, does that make sense? Give credence? I don't know. Gives merit. It's a better word. Gives merit to what Candance Owens is saying. She is drumming up a lot of support online. We want the footage on the back camera, and we want an explanation on the BULLET, why it didn't come out in the back. Here is this gentleman explaining, that has a lot of experience, why it doesn't make sense that it didn't come out. And like I said, Candance has said she's seen the footage and there was no blood, no nothing. Here is somebody who is supporting Candance Owens. Take a listen.
We got more news about Charlie Kirk. They come out and says, the guy who does the autopsy says there was no exit wound from a 30-06. It goes in the flesh of his neck right here. And his bones were so dense that, his words, it was like he was Superman and it stopped. Guys, 30-06 bullets are incredibly powerful. They're for things like moose hunting. I hunt deer with them. It's all a lie. That did not shoot Charlie Kirk.
All right. So like I said, everybody who has been watching the show daily, you know that Candance Owens has my support now too, along with this gentleman. There's a lot of questions that I have. I've been reporting this from the day it happened. I have questions, and I have not always been a Candance Owens supporter, but she has been doing a fantastic job writing for her friend, Charlie Kirk. And this gives credence. There's something going on. There's a lot of things going on. Comment below. Let me know what you think about it. And whatever we can do to just get to the truth, I stand with Candance. Whatever it is, let's find out what it is. Feds, whatever's going on, Kash Patel, something is up. Where is the evidence? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third lead story. All right, David streams have jumped nearly 64% since the Celeste situation. Fans are trying to connect clues by listening to his music. David is the biggest gainer on global Spotify charts, up 102 spots to 42 with 2.5 million streams. It also raises spots from 63 to 13 on US Spotify charts with 149 streams. And lastly, David has the biggest streaming day of all time. Sorry, has his biggest streaming day of all times yesterday, September the 21st, with 12 million. Okay, I'm sure most of you know about the artist David, the guy that had the Tesla, his girlfriend or alleged girlfriend. Body was found in the Tesla. I'm going to give you guys some up-to-date information that I was able to get. My apologies, I haven't been reporting this for the past 2 days. Been very caught up with Candance. I've been enamored with this Candance and Charlie stuff, but I want to give you guys an update, all right? Do my due diligence. Now, like I said, we have talked about this a couple of times before, I think last week. And over the weekend too, there's speculations online on the dark web that she may have been pregnant, and that could have been one of the reasons why. Y'all can sound off below and let me know what you think. And for those of you who don't know, Celeste was 15, and I think he was like 18 or 19 years old, okay? Now, as of today, David has canceled his tours, okay? He has removed the bloody t-shirts off of his site. He had, I think, like, it was like button downs with like blood prints over them. He's taken that down. There has been a teacher that spoke about Celeste being in her class and how she left to go to LA. Then her parents reported her, and then the police brought her back. And he's gone viral saying, like, why are you telling Celeste's story? And he said that he was literally just explaining to the classroom about the situation, to just be careful to not get caught up online, because apparently they're saying David met her online and kind of like, you know, encouraged her to come out to LA with him. Okay. So the teacher is getting a lot of backlash, but he's saying that he was just trying to make his kids aware. Now let's go on to the investigation. Oh, apparently over the weekend, the police have searched David's LA home and they're looking for blood and hair samples. The feeling or the speculation is the unaliving maybe happened in his house, and then he brought her to his car, to his Tesla in the trunk, and then parked the car in the dump. Now, very, very important to note that it's like when you see on CSI, right? Like the UV blood thing, because like even if there's some blood there and you cleaned it off, they'll be able to see it. From what I've heard, they haven't found anything, just from what I've heard. The fact that they were able to get a search warrant, that means that they have some probable cause that they can at least show a judge that say, hey, judge, we can't confirm anything yet, but we have enough probable cause. And the probable cause is he's been on the internet with her. There's videos, there's pictures. People are saying that it was his girlfriend and the car was registered to him. So that's enough to get a search warrant. However, it is not enough to make him an official suspect. He is currently right now not an official suspect. They are investigating his house, but he is not an official suspect. He is not talking to the police. He is not cooperating. Now, some people would say, well, if you have nothing to hide, why aren't you cooperating? That's a little bit unfair because you arrest me and I'm not talking to the cops. It's the first thing I'm going to do, because anything you say, once the cops have that search warrant, anything that you say can be used against you in a court of law. So you never say anything. You wait for your lawyer. And then if you're going to say anything, it will be with your lawyer present so that they can't say, oh, he said this or he said that. So not talking with the police is not a sign of guilt. It's a sign of, you know what you're doing and your lawyers have spoken to you and have advised you not to speak. Okay. Another thing that a lot of people are talking about is the cops are not saying anything. The analogy, they're keeping it close to the chest. Normally they'd give a press conference and they would say, hey, this artist, David, we found his Tesla, what we found in the trunk, and we're doing this, this is what we know so far. I think the reason why they're not saying anything is because they have something that they don't want him to know that they have. That's what I think. And I'm sure they're keeping tabs on him. They know where he is. That, like, again, he's not a suspect. They can't take away his passport or whatever. But the fact that he's stopping all his tours, he's being they're doing something with his label. Like, his label has like stopped some stuff. There's some Grammy thing that he was supposed to be a part of. Like, everyone's kind of just keeping their distance. But I think the cops are not giving us any information because they don't want to tip him off, and they just want to sit down and watch him for now. So that is my up to date here. Let me just make sure he was currently not an official statement. But yeah, okay, that's it. All right, that's it. So y'all sound off below. Like I said, this is a big story. Sorry for not talking to you guys about it over the weekend. Whew, I'm done with my notebooks. We can get to quick stories now. Yeah, sorry for not telling you guys about it over the weekend, but that is the latest information. And just FYI, another part of the reason why I didn't speak about it over the weekend is be careful what you're hearing online. And now, I love all my content creators. I love everybody who's on YouTube, but there's a reason sometimes why some stories don't get picked up in mainstream media and you don't hear about it, is because there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people that are going to tell you, well, this has happened and that's happened and he's guilty and this is what happened. And on Discord, they're saying this. Like, there's a lot. And I always like to be careful before I say anything. Like, everything I just read to you there, I literally got from somebody in LA, and every single thing I just told you is facts. Now, when I say, for example, like, why I think the police are not saying anything, yes, that's my opinion. Like, I think they're not saying anything because of this, or it could not always necessarily be my opinion, but it could be an opinion of my source, right? But there also could be some people that don't have sources, that are not doing any sort of investigation, and they're literally just sitting down at home being like, this is what happened, and he did this, and I know this, and blah, 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 for like some clicks and views. So just make sure the stories that you're listening to are credible, and, keep your ears open for who their sources are. That's all I'm saying. I will try to find out as much as I can about this for you. I think the cops will probably in the next couple of days press charges, but just finding something in somebody's trunk without having any sort of forensic prints or whatever, blah, 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 sometimes it's not enough, or sometimes I got to wait to get more things. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. All right. Sound off. Let me know if he's guilty, not guilty. We already know the things that he's obviously guilty for already, just with the age, right? So that's already bad, of course, but we're talking about him being charged for this unaliving. Let me know what you guys think about David in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Celina Powell exposes Lil Meech begging for mercy. Audio leaked. She says nothing gets deleted. All right, Lil Meech from BMF, son of Big Meech. Over the weekend, Celina put out some picture of him like playing PlayStation or whatever, and her foot was on him. And I don't know, she made some thing about them hooking up or whatever. And he goes, yo, that's cap. All right. She was like, oh, that's cap? No problem. Boom. And then she started leaking a bunch of stuff, and he called her. Here's a phone call, and then I'll read to you a couple of things that she leaked. Listen to Lil Meech begging and apologizing, saying that he's sorry for saying that she was capping on him. Take a listen.
Begging you, please delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro. I apologize for saying what I said to you. Please, man.
But you said it was cap, though. What was cap, Demetrius?
Celina, I said that to get the post deleted, Celina.
Okay. You're right. But now you want to make me look like a liar in front of the internet. It's crazy, Demetrius.
That's not how I tried to make you seem. I apologize for that.
All right, so this is what she put out in her stories. Would you believe this known for snitching, saying that I'm capping? Out of all men, you think I would lie on you, Demetrius? That's his real name. We call him Lil Meech, but you think I'd be lying on you, Demetrius? I lie to my friends about not being with you because they know you're a bum. Mind you, you're living in Floyd Mayweather's apartment for free with his daddy because they can't afford rent. Think I'd be proud to admit that? I care for you like you're my son. You couldn't even afford meals. I connected you with my plug because you couldn't afford your own DRUGs. He's a couple of deep today, probably. He probably forgot it was me, and that's why he said it was capping. She goes, look at my son. I might have to, do something with his daddy now. I might have to start messing with his daddy now because she's calling him his son. She sent a text message showing him that she sent him a link to get some clothes because she felt bad for him. There's some allegations that he's a little musty out here. She said, take that as a lesson to never play with me because I'll always have receipts. Demetrius, you know what's cap? The fact that you posting a Ferrari that got repossessed because you couldn't afford the insurance. Post the car in real time right now. Let's go, please, please. Anyways, Lil Meech is getting dragged. 50 Cent is loving all of this because 50 and Big Meech and Little Meech have been beefing for the past couple of months. BMF is over. I haven't even watched the final season because I'm so upset with this breakup. But I will get to do it. I need to finish a couple of more seasons of a show, and then I will get to it. Let me know what you think about Celina Powell. I don't even understand why guys mess with Celina. Seriously, she has exposed academics. She has exposed a couple of dudes. I don't know why guys still mess with her. There's a plethora of girls, man. But anyways, these industry dudes, there's a group of chicks in the industry, and they just keep circulating. It's ridiculous. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our second lead story, talking about chicks in the industry. Lori Harvey and Damson Idris back together. Mexico PDA goes viral after breakup drama. All right, guess who's back in the water? And the headlines, Lori Harvey and Damson Idris was spotted getting way affectionate in Mexico. Black swimwear, sun, beach, PDA, the whole vibe. It's been 2 years since their split in November 2023, but these pictures are screaming, maybe it's not over, louder than fans expected. It's the summer. Is this just summer nostalgia, or are we witnessing a full-blown rekindling? What do you think? Are they just enjoying the moment or reviving something stronger than just a breakup? All right, I've been playing some pictures here for you guys. All respect due to Lori Harvey. I'm not the biggest Lori Harvey fan. She's not, I don't know. I know a lot of guys like her. Another thing too, I just said, I think she's dated every single guy in the industry. She dated Diddy and his son. It's crazy. Anyways, I love Damson though. That's my guy. Hey, if he likes her, he's in love with her, fine. But I have no problems with Lori Harvey. She's just not my, I hate saying my type because I don't really feel like I have a type. But yeah, I don't see the craze over Lori Harvey. But shout out to Lori Harvey. She's a very, very pretty girl. Nice, nice body, nice everything. But she's just something that she doesn't do it for me. Sound off below. Let me know what you think. Are they back together or not? I think Damson could, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third quick story. All right, I'm going to give you guys 3 quick things about Cardi B. I saw somebody in the comment section you're giving us too much Cardi B. A, I'm a big Cardi B fan. B, it's her album rollout weekend. Of course, there's going to be a lot of Cardi B on the Trend Out Loud show, right? But I have no shame in my game, man. That's my girl. Love her. Okay, where am I going to start here? Okay, I found this really interesting thing. Where is it? Here now. Yeah. Cardi B is now worth $101 million at the age of 32. She breaks the record as the youngest and fastest female rapper to surpass $100 million in net worth. You put everything aside, the fact that Cardi's only on her second album. Maybe the album didn't do so well. She put WAP and Up in there, so she really didn't go platinum, blah, blah, blah. People rate her rhymes. She's worth $100 million. She has baby daddies. Why is she messing with Stephon Diggs? Even I dragged her for dating Stephon Diggs, but she's worth $100 million. Cardi's out here doing her thing. She's worth $100 million off of one album. So anyway, shout out to Cardi for that. Next thing here. Oh, this is funny. This is Cardi B at a meet and greet, dancing with her fans. And just watch how free and fun she is. And this is what I love about Cardi. She's not stuck up or, extra or whatever. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I could play this because, okay, sorry guys. I just made an executive decision real quick. I'm not going to play this because she's in a dress and she's a little bit may be a little bit see-through. It's on our Instagram, The Trend Out Loud Show. I do not want this video being taken down or flagged. So yeah, there's a little bit of see-through stuff on that dress. So I'm not going to play it, but go check it out on our Instagram page. It's so funny. It's really good. Go check it out. The Trend Out Loud Show. The Trend Out Loud Show on Instagram. And then the last thing is Cardi B cooking, saying she wants a ring. Now, there's apparently some like betting site that bets on things that celebrities are going to do. The bet went up, I think 60 or 70% after Cardi B announced her pregnancy, that her and Stefan are going to get engaged. This is the first time that she's ever said anything about them getting married. She said it on their live. Take a listen.
Oh, nah. That is good. My man need to marry me today.
Hey, I know she's just in the kitchen being, oh, this tastes so good. My man needs to marry me today, but that's what's on her mind, right? And she said, I think in a Gayle King interview, that she'd want to get married again. So we'll see. Sound off below. You think her and Stefan are going to get married? Do you think Stefan is ready to, put his player ways aside and get married and be with one girl? Who knows? Or maybe they have a lifestyle where there are some girls sometimes. Like, who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our fourth quick story. Yes, Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black Season 2 shot all 16 episodes in just 12 days. The only thing more outrageous than the drama unfolding in Season 2 in Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black is the speed at which it was filmed. The Netflix soap, executive produced, created, written, and directed by Perry, dropped the first half of its second season September the 11th and quickly climbed the streaming charts, outpacing several major hits. But unlike those other series, Beauty in Black pulled off a near impossible feat, shooting 16 episodes of Season 2 in just 12 days, according to star Taylor Williams. Okay, remember I told you I'm going to watch BMF when I finish watching some series? This is one of the series I'm watching. As you guys know, I have insomnia, so I need shows to fall asleep. That's why I've watched pretty much every streaming show on every streaming platform that you could even tell me about. Now, Tyler Perry's shows and movies are all the same. It's quick, right? It's fast paced. It's not, angles and acting, and really like the script is not in depth, amazing, crazy writing. So it's good to put you to sleep. But even I, am somebody who is, I had my actor membership, I have done some acting or whatever. To do 16 episodes in 12 days is crazy work, but that's why Tyler Perry makes so much money. People don't realize why he's a billionaire. That's his brand. And just take a side note for people out there who's ever in business. There's so many different ways to make money. You can have a high, super high budget show and try to sell it for $100 million. So that's i.e. kind of like Louis Vuitton. Or B, you could have like a dollar store where you have, products that are $1, $2, and $3. The shelving looks cheap. People are making minimum wage, but you're selling so much product and you're pumping out so much, you're making as much or more than even Louis Vuitton. And that's what Tyler Perry is doing. It's Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. I've been there before. Everything is on his own set. He has all his cameras. He has the staff. They go in there quick. They give you an idea of what the scene should be like. Boom, 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 boom. Next, da-da-da. And it's cheap, cool. Gives it to Netflix. Netflix gives him a bag and he's out. 12 days is amazing. So I just love the business acumen and, of course, the creativity. And is it the most like edge of my seat show? No, but it's good entertainment. It's, it's good. You kind of want to be like, what's going to happen next? So let me know if you guys have watched Beauty in Black, and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And if you know of any good series, because I'm kind of running low, let me know what you guys think about Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black in the comment section below. Our fifth quick story. Malik Yoba drops a bomb. I'm attracted to trans women, but I'm not gay. All right, you remember Malik Yoba from New York Undercover? Actor Malik Yoba is reigniting a debate with his bold claim. He loves trans women, but says it doesn't make him gay. He argues society is too quick to throw labels and men shouldn't be ashamed of who they love. But the real question is this honesty or a loophole to dodge a gay title? Are women offended? Are men low-key revealed? One thing for sure, Malik is forcing the culture to have that conversation. I'll play a very quick clip. He's not saying this in this clip, but just look.
Trying to let y'all know I ain't gonna do this for everybody, you know what I mean? So I'm just let y'all know how it go down for the get down. Just how y'all doing? How you doing, Hunty?
I'm doing fine,
This is for Miss Melody Maria, her play.
All right, so this could, I guess, technically even be in social discussion, but what do y'all think? If somebody is in love with trans people, somebody who's transitioning or have transitioned, does that make them gay? I just think that's even too much of a loaded question for me to answer. I would need more context. Are they post-op or, are they pre-op? How long, what their testosterone levels, like it's, it begs the question. I feel like it goes too deep. This is just quick news. So I don't got time. Let me know what you guys think about Malik Yoba in the comment section below. Our sixth quick story. The View had no view on Jimmy Kimmel's show being pulled from the air. Oh, sorry, I read the wrong headline. That was the last headline. The View finally addresses Jimmy Kimmel's controversial show being pulled from ABC. Whoopi Goldberg says, nobody silenced us. Now, Whoopi, I love you. Like, Whoopi is the auntie, godmother. She's like Oprah status. But stop it. Seriously, listen to the excuse.
Did y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel? No one silences us. We took a breath to see if Jimmy was going to say anything about it first. Then our show was on tape on Friday.
The ladies of The View are finally speaking out after ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel's late night show, Jimmy Kimmel, the late night show off the air. As we reported here, the network's move came after backlash over, blah, 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 blah. Last week, fans noticed the panel stayed silent for 2 episodes straight, sparking rumors that ABC have been pressuring them. Some thought it was censorship in real time, but on Monday's show, the panel made it clear that nobody silenced them. Okay, whatever. Look, so they're saying that their next show, they wanted to wait for Jimmy. But if that was the case, why act like the elephant is not in the room? Why not say that? Why not say, look, we all know what happened yesterday. We all know what happened last night. We are not going to say anything. We want to wait to see if Jimmy's going to say something. But in the meantime, we don't think it's right, or we think it's an attack on free speech, but we just want to wait for Jimmy. Say something. The fact that you're not saying anything, and to make matters worse, that Friday was a taped show, so that there's going to be 2 days without you saying anything. Come on. Just, my gut is telling me that y'all just wanted to stay safe. Y'all want to let, Jimmy work that out. You tell me you didn't get no call from ABC. Nobody was like, yo, guys, just give us a day, give us something. You know what I mean? ABC, The View, most of the girls there, or the women there, are very critical of Trump. So you need to tell me that ABC didn't make a little call, a little email, a text message? Stop it. Whoopi! I love you. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our 7th quick story. Oh, wow. Kanye West admits he thought his White Lives Matter stunt was a funny joke. Everybody knows white lives. I don't even want to read this. But now I'm white. How about that? I don't know. I didn't even see the full headline, guys. I'm going to play a quick clip here for you. Kanye is he put out his movie, and I told you guys the last time I talked about Kanye, I'm getting just a little bit tired of him and his antics and his desperate plea to try to regain some of his fame. But in the past 6 or 7 months, he's been so flamboyant and so trying to one up his own shockness that it's just gotten nauseating and redundant and boring. And I think the same thing with this video of his documentary of somebody following him around with a camera for 7 years, and now we're going to show it to you. I'm just tired of it. I put out something, I think, over the weekend where he was yelling at Kris Jenner, but this, I just don't want to even get into it. So sorry, second executive decision. I don't even want to play this clip. I didn't put it on the Instagram page. And now just hearing what it's going on here, I'm not even going to play it here. We're not going to get into that kind of negativity. We're not going to let Kanye West use shows like this and content creators like this to get these ridiculous measures out. All right. So still want to do my job, though. I always get caught up with these things. It is viral. Want to let you guys know about it. Kanye West has a documentary. I think it's in theaters, or it might be somewhere online. If you guys want to see unabated Kanye West raw over the past 7 years, go check it out. Let me know if you like it in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Aura, I got a good social discussion. I made up my own. I love that. All right, before we start, I got a question for y'all. Aura time. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you do not use Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendOutloud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling your information, credit card information, banking, cell phone, social. Did I say social security already? Address to markers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. I don't know why I'm in such a good mood this week. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of sites and also keeping it off. All right. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit card, banking information, social security number, address, cell phone, email. They give you a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based round-the-clock customer service in the event that anything does go wrong. If anything ever does go wrong, Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft insurance package. With Aura, you are covered. Make sure you go to the QR code that here is right beside me, or the link below, whichever is easy for you. It is absolutely free for 14 days. If you ever bought anything online, one time, bought something from Amazon, the minute you press confirm or purchase, your information is out there and it stays out there. Aura takes it off and keeps you safe. There's family packages, etc., individual packages. You're going to love it. And the best thing is that it's free for 14 days so they could show you what they could do by taking your information off. Sign up, all right? Next, we're going to go over to comments. I actually have a comment from my mom today, so I love when I have a mom comment. And then excited to go to social discussion. All right. First comment is from Ro. Hey, Trent. Ro from MI again. I think that's Michigan. Just wanted to thank you for being one of the very few who decided to actually look at what Candance Owens is doing and seeing that she only wants transparency with all the different topics. So many people just take other person's word on the hate and dragging her name and not having anything to stand on. She is very intelligent and truly cares. You should watch her and Judge Joe Brown's interview with her. You might have a different view on Kamala Harris. They dug deep on her, and Joe Brown is a very respectable judge from Detroit too, I do believe. Yes, Joe Brown, I do know about him. So Ro, thank you, Ro, for that comment. And yes, and I have seen a couple of Ro's comments before. I love Ro commenting because she drags me a lot of the time. And I have read her comments. This is the first kind of like positive one. But what I like about Ro is that she'll continue to watch the show as much as she disagrees with me. And I love that. That is the kind of platform and community that I want to build. So shout out. But Ro, I'm happy that we actually found something that we can agree on. And this is who I am. I could not like somebody and then get into them and be like, hey, it's not that I was wrong about them. I still disagree with the things, but I'm happy also too that I've been able to find something that Candance believes in that I believe in as well too, and give her props for that. That is who I am. That's not to say that her next crusade I'll be on just because it's Candance. That's not how I ride. If Donald Trump is doing something that I stand on, I'm not afraid to admit it. Joe Biden, Kamala, whoever it is, I believe in the things I believe in, and I'm not afraid to say when somebody is doing something that I believe or not. So, but again, Ro, happy that we're able to find some common ground. All right, next comment is, I love this comment. Mary Ellen Wood says, I love you regardless of who and how you pronounce words. It's all good. Thank you for that. I did ask for grace. I think it was the time where I was like, Jimmy Kimmel, and people, there was like 20 comments. It's not B-L-E, it's Kimmel. And I was like, yo, I'm dyslexic. Give me some grace. So thank you, the out louders who give me grace and know. But at the same time, there's sometimes some new listeners and they don't know me that well. That's why I really have love and I pour in and to dedicate to the out louders. All right. Next comment comes from my mom. So yesterday, or I think it was maybe 2 days ago, I sent, I read to you, no, it was yesterday's show actually. I read some comments under my vlog video of that interview, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, Trent, I never knew about that this much about you. You're very interesting, etc., etc., etc. I want to get your books. Well spoken, etc." So there was like 5 like really good comments, and I'll read just the last one here. It's like, "You're an inspiration to us all. Thank you to your amazing role models like your mom, your grandmother, who had made an incredible impact on your business and you bringing mental health awareness." So I sent it to my mom, which I don't even have to because she sees all the comments anyways. So I sent it to her just to kind of get her reaction. And by the way, yes, my mom gets sad when there's like negative comments too, but I'm like, Mom, that's what happens sometimes. Not everyone is going to like me. So y'all, when you're hating out there, just remember that it makes my mother sad, okay? Anyways, when I sent these positive ones to her, she wrote back and she said, "So very happy that people are," she meant to say, "liking you and respecting you and your opinion. You are a good, caring person. And for some reason, I told you years ago, I just see you in big lights. I didn't know why, but it's probably on the way big time. You have guardian angels watching over you." Love that, man. Love that my mom is like, she's always so happy, even for, small things, like comments or people getting to know her son. And that little last part there is, she's been telling me since I was a kid, for some reason, when she was driving home from the hospital with me, she saw my face on a billboard. And you know how some mothers would be like, "Oh, my son is into this," or "My daughter's going to do that." I have an older sister, and she never thought that of my sister. Not for any reason why, but she always just thought I had a personality since I was a little baby. And she was always like, "You're going to do something in entertainment. You're going to be on a billboard," or whatever. She's always been telling me that since I was a kid. So that's why she's very supportive of my show or anything I do when I was in music or when I was modeling or acting. Of course, anything I do, even when I had my stores. I mean, my son has stores, my son has this, my son has, she's, very, very proud of her son, like a lot of moms are. So thank you guys for the positive comments and making my mom feel good. All right. Love you, Mom. And thank you for watching every single show. Okay. Let's get over to social discussion. Actually, social discussion today is not even on, I didn't get anything online. This is my own thing. And well, first, let me tell you, social discussion is today. Oh, I don't have a. When is culture? Hold on, I want to get it. Sorry, I didn't print this part out. I want to make sure here. Whose culture wins in a relationship? How far should you compromise? Okay, that is the question. I'm gonna just make sure I have it again. Whose culture wins in a relationship, and how far do you compromise? How far should you compromise? I'm going to touch on this a little bit, and then I'm going to make a vlog tomorrow. So this is part openness and part, as you guys know, we have memberships right now. You'll see the link below. Don't forget to sign up to our memberships. And with memberships, you have early access to videos and private vlog videos that I'm going to do. A lot of you have been asking, we want to get a little bit more, into the background of Trent and not only celebrity stuff. So I've been doing vlogs and just talking to you guys. So I'm going to bring, parts of my life. But I wanted to bring the beginning of it here to this forum, okay? We'll get more in depth tomorrow. I'm actually going to call some people and ask their opinion too. So make sure you check it out if you're a member. If not, sign up. Okay. So without giving too much detail, if you're with somebody and you both come from different cultures, one culture does something one way, and so your culture does something one way, and her culture does something another way. Whose culture wins? I'm asking a serious question. You guys know whenever I'm on the fence about something or something is bothering me, something is on my mind, like, who wins? Now, I'm obviously saying that to kind of get the conversation, and I think the answer should be, I don't think anybody should win. I think relationships, the best relationships, work on compromise and work on understanding what the other person needs. So I'm the type of person, like something happened over the weekend, okay, obviously, and I'm super bothered by it. And like this person was like, well, yeah, this is, that's not how it works in my culture. But I'm like, that's how this works in my culture. And it's something very, very minimal. It's not big. It's not like, make it or break it. It's something like just very, very light. But I think when you're getting to know somebody, or when you're talking to somebody, or, when you're trying to figure things out, I think it's important to have compromise, right? And like, I'm the type of person that I'm like, hey, there's certain things that I have value and there's certain things that I have of my culture. And, these are the things that are important. I understand there's certain things that are in your culture, but I just think that, especially if you're doing something that's not necessarily part of your culture and you see that that is more of a priority in their culture, I think a relationship is like, I have no problem with that. That's kind of cool, actually. I didn't even think about that. Or, okay, it's not really how my culture works, but then like, okay, I get that. But shouldn't that also be back and forth? So that's why I wanted to bring this to social discussion. Like I said, we will, get into a little bit more detail on the vlog tomorrow. I'm actually going to get my hair braided, so I'm going to ask my my hair braider what she thinks, and the girl that sits beside her. I'm going to call my mom, and I might even call Mars, just to, like I said, just trying to do fun things for the memberships. But I feel like this is why some parents or some people not necessarily kind of like push their kids to stay in their own culture, but I think sometimes it's easier when you are with somebody who is of your culture, because then you don't have these different things that you have to deal with, But having said all that, like, I love different cultures, and I'm the type of person that I don't mind being open to new things, but I just find that if it's always the other person's culture or the other person's ways, then does that even make sense that you try to understand the other person's culture and they don't try to understand yours? And when does that break? And when does it get too much? You know what I'm saying? And when does it I don't know. I'm going to wait more tomorrow, but try with the information without any details today. But I'm still upset of it, as you could tell, because I'm such an understanding person, man. I'm so like, okay, that's cool. Oh, cool. But then when I'm like, yo, this is how this goes in my culture. Well, oh, not in my culture. Like, what? That is so crazy to me. I don't know. I don't think it's, but I also don't think that you should only be with people with your culture. Then we'll never be able to mix cultures and understand. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to save it more. I do have more to say. I'm going to save it it'll be vlog number 3. Let me know. The technical question is, when you're in a relationship, whose culture wins? And again, it's not really win, but like, how do you handle being in a relationship with two people from different cultures? And when is it enough? When does culture get put to the side? And if somebody needs something that's not part of your culture, do you let that part of your culture go and give that person what they need or what they like? See, because I like doing that, because that shows a person that I like you. So it's like, yo, I don't normally do this, but you do this. I like you enough to be like, that's totally fine. And again, like I said, it's nothing that's like, like when you're not being yourself, we're not going to try to change people. Like, just little customs, just little light things. But I think those little light things shows a person that like, hey, this is not normally what I do, but I'll do this for you. Like, I don't care about that stuff, right? Because you're letting your ego get in the way. So when does your culture become ego? And when does your culture become too much? Sound off below. I think this is going to be an interesting vlog. Sign up. Link is below. I put some stuff here beside me while I'm talking. And sound off below. When does culture become too much in a relationship? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Does anybody pay off their credit cards in full every month? All right, the first person said, yeah, the full minimum payment. Next person said, I used to, I won't ever again. Another person said, I do. It bothers my anxiety if I don't. Another person said, if you want an 800 plus credit score, I highly recommend keep your usage under 30% at least. Somebody said, unfortunately not anymore. I wish things were different these days financially, but God is good. I hope he blesses every single person on this thread with whatever they're struggling with. Blessings to all. Another person said, I do, but I use it right back up. Another person said, yes, best way to use your credit. Somebody said, yes, every single day, every single month. Yes, to avoid interest. No, but this is the level I strive to be at. Another person said, I try to. They said, yes, balance for that period. So from a financial standpoint, I will say one thing is that credit cards have the highest interest rates like ever. So if you're not in a position where you can pay off your credit card, try to get a line of credit, or if you have something with a lower interest rate, credit cards are fine. I use my credit card all the time for everything. Get your points, get your cash back or whatever program you're on. Have another line of credit. Take that line of credit that has a much lower interest rate and pay off your credit card monthly. Now, some people are not in a position to have a line of credit, and some people are not in a position to even pay it off. I get that, but make sure if that's the case, then you're not spending your money on things raising up your limit. Try to stay within your means. I understand people still have to, eat, gas, food, whatever, etc. But I've been in those situations. I've told you guys before. I filed for bankruptcy. I've been on welfare. I've been hungry. I've been living in my car. So I do remember those times. I do remember looking at those credit cards, and I humble myself, man. There's no restaurants. There's, you go to the groceries and you go to the no label, section, and you do whatever you could do. You know what I mean? And you limit what you're eating, you limit what you're spending. I have no shame in my game. I'm not going to try to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not going out. I've been there. I have been there. Trust me. There's a section in my book where I went to my bank account. I think it was in the winter or something. I was leaving a club and I didn't have a ride back, and I tried to go into a taxi, and my credit card wasn't working. And I went to the bank account and I went to the bank machine and I put my card in. I only had $3 and something cents to my name. So I couldn't even take anything out. And I had to walk an hour and a half in the snow home. So I've been there. I get it. But like I said, be diligent and get yourself out of that situation. Work overtime, do whatever you have to do. But trying to make sure to pay off your credit cards every month. All right. But let me know, how do you guys manage your credit? Do you pay it off every month? What do you do? All right. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all. That is a wrap on today's show. Thank you so much for kicking me. I think we had a good show today, man. A couple of breaking news and stuff, good topics, social discussion. Make sure y'all tune in to the vlog 3. I'm gonna start trying to involve some other people. The other day, I was talking to Mars. Sent me a voice note saying, "I can't believe you said that about people cooking. People cooking is love language." And I was like, that's not what I said at all. I just said about people cooking is that if a guy likes a girl, he should not be with her because she can't cook. In the bigger spectrum, cooking is nothing. If you meet somebody who you have great values with, if they're a good person or whatever, they can't cook is not the end of the world. And she's like, oh, I didn't get that. So in the vlogs, I want to try to put people in and speaking instead of just me talking alone to the camera, because sometimes I think I'm getting a point across and the person is like, what you say? So I think it would be interesting to kind of get some voices on. And that's why you guys want me to go live. So maybe I'll go live sometimes too. We're going to figure out this membership. All right, I'm talking too much. I don't know why I'm chatty patty today. Make sure y'all sign up for the membership. Make sure y'all sign up to Aura. Like I said, if you've bought even one thing online, your information is out there. The QR code is beside me. It is free for 14 days. Just trust me and sign up. See what they could do. Free for 14 days. Also, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Try Out Loud show. For those of you that like to listen on podcast platforms, go to any podcast site, type in Try Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily, all right? So check us out on podcast platforms. Now, if you're like me and you like video, you like to watch a show like this, head on over to YouTube, type in Try Out Loud. When the show pops up, I'm going to need you to do 5 things. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. That will get the algorithming. Please try to comment. I love seeing your comments. This is a global podcast. Sorry, I skipped that line. I love seeing your comments. And I do the show with you guys. So that's the first thing. I do the show with you guys, and I ask you guys a bunch of questions. And if you guys are not answering me, then I'm talking by myself and then I look crazy. What I was about to say is, for those of you who don't want to comment, please at least comment where you're listening from, because this is a global podcast and I love to see which country or city you're listening from or watching from. All right. Lastly, like I said, please sign up for our memberships, the Out Loud memberships. There are some different levels. The first one has everything in it. The second ones are just fun. Out Loud Family, Out Loud, I think it was an Out Loud Proud. Just like, hey, just little ways to kind of support the show with a little bit more money. I've seen some people signed up for Out Loud Family. Shout out to Tez and Strawberry Daiquiri. Love y'all. But yeah, feel free. Just the basic level Out Louders is enough. I just want you guys to come on over and check out the vlogs. All right. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And talking about Instagram, you've heard me say it all throughout the show. Please, please, please try to follow us on Instagram, The Trent Out Loud Show. Pretty much everything that we talk about on the show, we're posting throughout the day. You get to know and get some insight of what we're going to talk about, hear my opinion on it, and then we hand it over to you for you to comment, digest, do whatever you would like to do. All right. So make sure you follow it and stay locked to the Trent Out Loud Show on IG. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And don't forget, there's going to be one last show on Tuesday and then no tape shows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I will be in New York City. I will be giving you guys lives from the airport, from the taxis, from outside the courtroom. Stay tuned the rest of this week on our YouTube Live. And don't forget, podcast listeners, we don't put the lives from YouTube over on podcast platforms. You're going to have to come over to YouTube and hit that live button to tune in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all right? So do not miss out. We will definitely, actually, sorry, I'm going to be back Friday. So there'll be a show, a Friday night, Saturday morning show. So there just won't be Wednesday, Thursday, all right? Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!